We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Gary. Infinite Gary says he typically listens in his theater with the volume on this anthem process somewhere between -20 and -30 dB. Watching the newest Blu-ray release of Ben-Hur, the remake.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie that didn't need to be remade, but I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I don't know.
Not
I can
really
imagine
interested
it
to see
having some good audio and stuff in there.
I would hope so.
Seems like
Yes.
the type of the movie that very well could.
Yeah. He decided to turn on the subtitles, and in one scene, the subtitles showed that what two men whispering in the background were saying, Gary couldn't hear them at all. So he turned up the volume. At 0 dB, he could hear them whispering, but it wasn't until he got to +2 that he could actually understand what they were saying. So does playing movies below reference volume mean that we are outright missing sound sometimes? Playing the rest of the movie at that volume setting was so loud that he doesn't understand how the mixers, masters, engineers, blah, 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 could possibly be listening to that all day. Gary wants to hear everything in the soundtrack, but now it's going to make him deaf. So what's the deal? Yeah, dynamic volume might be your friend in this one, but he has an anthem, right?
He has an anthem. He doesn't have
He doesn't have that. That would be my solution to your problem is dynamic volume, in that it as you lower the volume, it compensates for your lack of being able to hear stuff. Yeah. Now, what concerns me is that you are watching Blu-rays at this level. Like in my theater, when I'm watching YouTube or Netflix, I will be at -30 to -20. Mm-hmm. When I am watching Amazon Prime, I'm usually up closer to -15 to -10. And when I'm watching Blu-rays, I'm up at -5 to reference. Right around there. That's where I've been lately in here.
Reference is loud, though. It is very loud.
It is loud. Yeah. It is supposed to be loud. Yeah. It is supposed to be loud.
It's IMAX. Right? IMAX is reference.
IMAX is reference, and IMAX is loud. So if you're not wanting to listen to it that loud, but you still want to be able to hear everything, you really need something that you can do what my parents do, which is just turn on the subtitles to everything. Or you can not do that and, use some sort of processing that normalizes all the sounds, like the Dolby volume sort of thing, mm-hmm. that makes it all sound about the same volume. Well,
there's different intensities of that leveling.
But it's still, so that would bring that volume, those speakers up in the back, while bringing down some of the higher stuff, the louder stuff, during the louder parts. Yeah, of the movies.
Even something like Odyssey Dynamic EQ or YPOW volume might not totally handle this, because those are frequency dependent. They're saying, here are the frequencies that become inaudible once you go below reference volume. Voices wouldn't fit into that frequency range. So something like whispering isn't likely to be affected by something like dynamic EQ or YPOW volume. It is going to be something like dynamic volume or Dolby volume, where it's actually compressing the dynamic range a little bit. I mean, if you put it on the lowest setting, it's really not that objectionable. I've definitely found, particularly Dolby volume, although that doesn't seem to be found on many things anymore. But I found the lowest setting on Dolby volume was really quite effective. The lowest setting on Odyssey Dynamic volume is pretty darn effective. It just makes it so that the explosions aren't ear-splitting. And then everything else you still keep up to the way you're supposed to use dynamic volume is you set it to the level that's comfortable for the quiet passages, for regular dialogue, and then it tries to tamp down the loudest explosions so they don't blast your ears off. But yeah, to answer the question, are you missing sounds when you're not playing at full reference volume? Yes, you just gave an excellent example. And that can totally happen. Stuff that is audible at reference volume can fall below the threshold of audibility when you're below reference volume. Yeah.
All right. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.